Anything from DC?
Surprised, no. Thrown off a little bit, but I mean, shit, that's on him. I don't know. Like,
Lamont, I don't know the exact details or stuff that we've heard, but I think he's gonna have Calvin in his corner this time. I think he will have Kenny, but he's not gonna have Calvin. I think that's probably gonna be like an advantage for you since he's gonna have somebody new in his corner, if I'm not mistaken.
more than likely, I think that's a little weird. You know what I'm saying? Be with your trainer, your lifetime, your career.
If you thought the Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach saga couldn't get any crazier, think again. Moments ago, the live rematch press conference erupted with a total shocker. Tank's longtime trainer, Calvin Ford, blindsided Lamont Roach right in front of the entire boxing world. No filter, no chill, just raw drama, served hot and in real time.
And Gervonta Tank Davis just been released to the public. We know now, December 14th, Houston, Texas, he's going to be facing a very tough opponent in Lamont Roach. Can you tell us a little bit about the history between them two?
Oh man, they've been knowing each other from the amateurs, silver gloves, everything. They grew up actually together, you know. Roach and him back and forth battles and whatnot. It's gonna be a pretty interesting fight. You know what I'm saying? Because Roach he come to fight, and I think it's a great fight. Everybody talking all that stuff about why Roach, because he signed and took the fight. You know what I'm saying? And it's good for the community.
Picture this: cameras rolling, fans hyped, and then, boom. Calvin Ford, the man who's stood by Tank for years, steps up and drops a verbal haymaker nobody saw coming. Lamont Roach Sr., Roach's father and trainer, was visibly stunned. You could see it written all over his face. Sure, we've talked about tension between these camps for weeks, but this was next level. No leaks, no rumors, just unfiltered must-see boxing drama. Let's break it down.
The thing I'm getting out of this, you know, Roach took the fight. It gives him a chance to really be that guy. Because Roach put in a lot of work, and he's a champion, you know. What's the best for him? I'm hoping that he do what I need him to do. You know what I'm saying? You see how I ask him, are you ready? You know what I'm saying? Because I need somebody that's going to really push things. So I can see different levels of that.
Before we dive into the chaos, here's the backdrop. Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach are locked in one of boxing's most heated rivalries. Their first bout in March ended in a controversial majority draw. Fans were split. Some said Roach edged it. Others screamed robbery, and who can forget round 9 when Tank took a knee over an eye irritation, setting off the now infamous hair grease controversy.
I don't want to say that's the blueprint. I just think that, you know, that my plan unfolded the right way.
That moment shook the boxing world. Some called it a smart veteran move. Others, a sign that Roach was winning. But one thing became clear. This rivalry wasn't over.
Did you get your hair done 2 days before the fight?
Yeah. I ran water over it today, but I must ain't do it enough.
Can you describe what the feeling was like in the ring? And was it to get the towel out, to get the burn out of your eyes, or what was going on? And
I didn't want to get caught. I didn't want to get caught while my eyes was burning, and you know, like, you can get knocked out like that. So I'd rather take the knee than, you know. But I didn't really know that you can like get disqualified for all that, or like when you start counting, I'm like, what the hell? But I don't know. It's cool.
Since then, tension between the camps has been boiling. Rumors of internal friction between Tank and Calvin Ford have circulated for months. Strategy disagreements, mindset concerns, even whispers about Tank's focus being off. Meanwhile, Roach's camp has been loud on social media, calling for a rematch, and they got it. June 21st, Las Vegas. Belts, bragging rights, and pride on the line. But now, after today's press conference, it's personal.
Cards, judge at the ringside. Eric Marlinski scores it on 115 to 113 in favor of Gervonta Davis. Judges Steve Weisfeld and Glenn Feldman both scores about 114 to 114, even a draw. The decision is a majority draw.
So what exactly did Calvin Ford say? He grabbed the mic and lit the fuse. "You talk a lot about how your son's ready to dethrone Tank," Ford said to Roach Sr. "But I see more smoke than fire. You forgot the fundamentals, the grind, the real fight game." Boom! Crowd buzzes. Roach Sr. stays calm, but you could feel the tension.
I mean, fight. It's a fight. People going to make
Vegas is gonna be on fire.
You know when you make a mistake. What happens when you make a mistake? You know, the guy sees you make a mistake. You know what I'm saying? Like again, both of them undefeated. Both of them got that so-called power. You know what I'm saying? You know, I know what Young ain't gonna bring. Right now, the thing is, it's manifesting. You know,
very, very.
That's all. To me, you know, working good. I'm trying to make his body good because I said this. We want to endure all the punishment. You know what I'm saying? My whole thing, I'm trying to put on a show for the others to come. You know what I'm saying?
Look,
just door open for these type of fights. You know what I'm saying? Because we see the vision of where we're trying to go at this. You know what I'm saying? Gervonta always said, man, coach, time is down. You know, we ain't second guessing ourselves because we host we're going to stay here. You know what I'm saying?
Ford didn't stop there. If Lamont wants that belt, he's got to earn it. Not on hype, not on socials. In the ring. Then Calvin drops a bomb. He challenges Roach Sr. to step into the ring himself. "Talk is cheap," Ford said. "Let's see if you can back it up."
I thought it was bullshit. A knee, you could take a knee. I don't care if it was greasing your eyes. It's a knockdown. There's no excuse for that. And I would like for the New York Commission to overturn that for the sport of boxing, so shit like that can't happen, especially on the A side. Everything that happens and people get away with it is always when it's the A side. You go back to all the history of boxing. So this could have been a chance for them to make boxing, you know, people respect it a little bit more if they would have overturned that point and gave the round to Lamont, which would have gave us the victory. But I thought we won to fight without that. But either way, you know, take a knee, that's a knockdown. You can go back. Everybody been watching boxing 20, 30 years. Anybody took a knee, that's a knockdown. And this was for a punch too. So that made it even worse.
Here's the kicker. This isn't just talk. It's a full-on trainer war, and in boxing, the trainer-fighter bond is sacred. Think Tyson and Cus D'Amato, Canelo and Eddie Reynoso. Calvin Ford molded Tank Davis from a street kid in Baltimore into a global star. So for Calvin to come out...
Go to work.
So you think he need to turn his phone off, man? Come on social as he trains for December?
Man, it's tough, but we try to ignore the noise. He do for the most part. He handling it very well, but we locked in, man. You know what I'm saying? Lamont just classy guy, man. But you know, he a rattlesnake too, man. People don't know he mean, man. So you know, you come at him, you know, he gonna bark back sometimes, and people don't be ready for when he come back.
We seeing it. So if it's a rematch in that, man, we gotta have it here, man.
Oh yeah,
Northwest Stadium. We gotta do something big, man.
Yeah, hopefully, you know what I'm saying, part 2, you know what I'm saying, we gotta get past part 1, but you know what I'm saying, but I would have loved for the fight to be here at home in the city for the fans. It would have brought a lot to this area. So, but either way,
Whispers are swirling. Some say Calvin's frustrated with Tank's focus since the draw. Others claim he's considering new directions. If true, today's press conference wasn't just about Roach. It was about sending a message.
At DC, they call me Mo. Calvin is Calvin. You know what I mean? I got Calvin tatted on me. Calvin ain't going nowhere. Y'all don't even know Calvin for CCO. I know Calvin, you know what I mean? I don't know. Calvin is pops. He ain't going nowhere. I got that nigga tatted on me. This shit life. Loyalty over everything. Yes, you know?
But here's the danger. If Calvin's playing mind games, it might backfire. In boxing, cracks in the camp can cost you everything. You don't want your trainer beefing on stage while the fighter's focus wavers behind closed doors.
Do it. Them guys don't understand. They do that on the club level fight. Opponents, they say, y'all don't want to get knocked out by this guy, so I'm going to come in heavy. They're going to need to fight because they got to take the fight because they kind of get the numbers. That's what they do on the lower end. But now, they flipping the strip and doing it on the high end. You know what I'm saying? So that practice, you going to start seeing that a lot now. But how we doing it now?
You know what I'm saying? Tank does that, you know, to get an eyebrow out of people. Like, you know how the Rock, when he put the eyebrow up, and he did get it. That's just.
And yet, this goes deeper than boxing. Calvin Ford isn't just Tank's coach. He's been like a father figure. He found Gervonta in the streets. No direction.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. That means you gotta go get it. You gotta box. Your feet work better be like bang, yeah. Box. G-Man, let's go. Go next. Box. That's not what it is. Good. Come on, man. Look out, Mike.
When Tank was throwing shade at Floyd on social media, threatening to leave, posting cryptic tweets, Calvin didn't pick sides. He didn't chase headlines. He stuck with Tank the fighter, not Tank the brand.
My journey's crazy. That's why I said this, you can't write this, man. You cannot write this. My experience being gone, and all the stuff that I went through, preparing me for where I'm at today. You know, that Tank is over. He had the lessons, getting his lessons of what he got to do, take us the rest of the way. And this is his take us the rest of the way fight.
So when Calvin took the mic today, it wasn't just a PR stunt. It was a statement of loyalty, a father figure defending his son in front of the world. It wasn't strategy, it was heart. And everyone in the room felt that.
One hand, he came in the corner at the 6th round and said, my hand is hurting. And if you look at the tape, I said, man, I don't want to hear that. Fight through it. And he done it. Y'all got to give this young man his props. Man, he come in day in and day out. And you hear him keep saying, he fight who they put in front of him. And we don't turn down nothing but our callers. So whatever they say to do, we're going to get the job done. That's the blue collar way.
So what does all this mean for June 21st? This rematch isn't just about who hits harder or moves better. This is about camps, pride, and mental warfare. If Calvin and Tank don't patch things up before fight night, this drama could cause...
Another thing I want to touch on is the Floyd situation. You know, Floyd is Floyd. That's like I say, Tank is Tank, man. But at the end of the day, you know, the man is chasing greatness. And you should be supporting that. And I always tell you that. You should be supporting that, you know. It's a rocky road that we saying what's going on. Just pay attention, man. The story is going to reveal itself. You know, but again, that's how you burn bridges. Somebody said they say the true colors of a person is coming out, man. They can't stand it, you know. Calm is I don't like using that word calm, you know, but our Lord knows. He knows. He knows. He knows.
Frank was on stage, he said, I'm going to beat Tank's ass. What's your response to that?
Nah, a lot of them said that. A lot of them said that, and I want him to have that attitude because, again, I know what's under the hood with him. He's Floyd built tough.
Expect the build-up to get even nastier. More pressers, more fire, more shade, and don't be surprised if the tension boils over in Vegas, maybe even outside the main event. This rematch is no longer just about boxing. It's about respect, revenge, and legacy.